I see on the internet all the time, right? People are saying, get into trades work. The trades are dead. The trades, we need bodies. We need young men that are willing to put their bodies on the line for HVAC, electrician, mechanical engineering. But here's what they really don't tell you when you first start working in the trades. And I'm not knocking anybody that works in the trades that wants to get into the trades. I just want to inform people on what it's really like as someone who's worked in the trades for about 4 to 5 years. Something that really frustrates me coming right out of the gates is people are saying you can make 80K to 100K right off the bat, right out of trade school. You get all your certifications. That is not true at all. Whoever's saying that is an absolute liar. When you first start out in the trades and you're not even a journeyman, you are not going to be making a lot of money, right? You are the newest guy. They're going to give you the most frustrating tasks. They're going to see what you're really worth. That's how you prove yourself as the quote-unquote new god. The old heads, they got the big egos that are running around on the job sites. They're going to want you to prove your worth. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't be coming online promising people that they're going to be making 100K in the first year. It's just not possible. So just say you end up becoming a journeyman, right? You go through your 4 years of whatever you got to do, HVAC, plumbing, electrician work. Your body also pays, right? You're getting paid probably good money at this point, but your body, right? You know how many tradesmen I've met that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. They can't even get up out of bed in the morning to go drink their morning coffee. It takes them a half hour. You pay with your body. I think that's most obvious, considering that if you're going to want to go into the trades, you have to understand that. You're going to deal with two things that don't care on your job site. Number one is the big bosses with the big egos that got put through hell that are also going to put you through hell. This is just the truth. There's a lot of journeymen out there. There's a lot of foremen out there that were treated like crap, so they think that they have to follow that same mentality. So they're going to also put you through crap. So you have to be mentally strong to deal with some people that aren't going to be too nice. Another thing is the weather. The weather does not care. It could be snowing, it could be raining, it could be 32 degrees, it could be 105 degrees. The weather don't care. They don't care if you're having a good day, a bad day. The weather will not, appease you. Another thing is it takes great discipline. Like, it's not just a backup plan. You go into this, you're already dedicating 4 to 6 years of your life to get to a journeyman position. If you go union, obviously if you go non-union, you work at a mom and pop, shop. But it's truly a lifestyle. You have to have great discipline if you really want to learn. If you really want to move up, the smartest guys move up the fastest. Not the ones that are bitching, not the ones that are complaining. If you're out on the job site and you're thinking, man, this guy all he does is bitch, but he's ahead of me. If you have great discipline, you will be ahead of that guy. And, in a few short months, that guy will also be wondering why he's in the same spot and you're ahead of him. I've seen a lot of guys that have been older than me. I've got ahead of them, and then they start treating me with a different mentality because I understand that the best guys are the fastest. They do the work, they shut up, and they go home. I believe my biggest issue when I was working in the trades, obviously, like with the weather, I live on the East Coast, so we get pretty cold winters and pretty hot summers, but just the mental game of it, right? I consider myself a pretty physically strong person, but I never had enough mental strength sometimes to deal with, the repetitive days, the really cold days, the really hot days. It really, really wears on you. And as a young person, if you're not used to that, if you're not in there and you understand that, it can be very mentally taxing. So I would just, if you're willing to sacrifice your body, sacrifice some blood, sweat, and tears, you really make a career out of it, but you have to go into this knowing that that's what could happen. I would always have a plan on moving up too. Like you work as an apprentice for 4 to 6 years, you hit your journeyman. Just because you hit your journeyman, that doesn't mean you just stop there. Always try to gain knowledge. Always try to talk to the people that are ahead of you that can give you that advice if they're willing to share. This doesn't even go for trades work. Always just try to be open-minded and always try to gain knowledge. That knowledge is truly power. The trades will absolutely test you mentally and physically, and if you're willing to dedicate some serious hours, it could be a serious payoff. But like I said, evaluate your options and really think, is this something that you want to do? But I appreciate you guys for stopping in and watching the video. Questions, comments, concerns are always welcome in the comment section. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.